Hello and welcome, Crosstown Gamer here, and today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Falling Sky, the Gallic Revolt against Caesar. And in this playthrough, I'm going to be playing as the Roman player, and I'll be facing off against the bot factions. And I realize this is the third video in the series, but the second one with actual gameplay. But already in the first episode of actual gameplay, so last video, I realized I had made a slight error. It's not so bad, but if we go back and on this Warfleet card, the Belgic player did their attacking and they kind of ravaged us, and then the Arverni were going to be up next, and we chose to do the event, but in their flow chart here, we made it down through here. Yes, they can use the event. No, it wasn't ineffective, and it did have special instructions here. But we only... so the cross swords do mean don't play the event, basically. No Arverni. But unless there's this symbol on the card, which is like a... They call it a Carnix. It's like a battle trumpet. If that's on the card, then automatically do the event. Like a yes, please, let's do that. But if otherwise, so if it's blank or if it just has the laurels, you actually have to roll a die. And on a 1 through 4, then they'll execute the event. We didn't roll, we just did the event. So we're just going to pretend that I rolled and I rolled a 3 or something. So apologies for that. Hopefully that's not going to influence the game too much. Although it is the reason we lost that legion up there in the north. So if we end up losing right away, that's maybe could have turned the tide of the war. Regardless, we're gonna continue playing, and we are up first on the Commius card, and we got a bit of a conundrum because there's a capability here, which means an effect that's going to be in effect for the rest of the game. And these are super good. So in the Belgica region, for Roman recruit, counted as Roman controlled and +1 Roman ally. So the reason that's so good is in order to place an ally, if it's subdued, we need to have control. And once we place it, we get extra auxilia whenever we recruit in regions that have allies. So we get to count it as +1. So not only do we get to plop down allied tribe discs in regions that we don't control, but we would also get the benefit of recruiting in those regions as though we had allies. So that's really good, although that's only in the Belgic region up there. The issue, though, is that, man, it would be great to have that for the rest of the game, but we've got these lonely legions up there with Ambiorix, and they're about to get totaled. These ones I'm not quite as worried about. This legion I'm not quite as worried about because they can only do 2 points of damage, and we have a fort here, and we have a auxilia already there sort of to protect. So I am really worried about that, though, and we need to give a slap in the face, the old 1-2 punch to the Belgic player or bot. So I think what instead we're going to do is march, even though that's super juicy and maybe would be a good idea. I just don't want them to like ambush us again or something. So instead, we're going to march. What does that mean? Any regions with all of our forces, any of our forces, it'll cost 2 resources per region. And this is different from, I think, all the other coin games, if not all of them, then like all but 1 or 2 other ones. Most coin games, any marching commands cost resources per destination region. In Falling Sky, it's per origin region. So what that means is, if I were to march from here, the origin region means I would only pay 2 resources for this, and I could go, 1 here and 1 down here. But in Falling Sky, it's so that's what it would be in Falling Sky. Other coin games, it's per destination region. So if I wanted to do that same thing, I'd pay resources to go here and I'd pay resources to go here. So it's per destination. So that's really nice, especially since we get to march from Provincia. We get a bonus to our march. If we've got Caesar along here, we can march 2, sometimes 3 spaces. So we can have far-reaching impact, which is another kind of odd thing about this coin game in particular, is that normally you can only march into adjacent regions, but Romans get special ability. So with Caesar, they can march up to 3. We're going to move any auxilia that we move are going to go to hidden. Most of them already are. There's 1 auxilia there. And we can move pieces up to 2 adjacent regions, 3 with Caesar. We'll stop at any devastated, or if we're crossing the Renus, which is this river here, or if we're going in and out of Britannia, we will also stop movement. And here's the tricky thing is, if we're going through a region, so if we were to go from Provincia 1, 2, we went through this region here where the Aedui player is, they get the option to harass us and take pot shots at us as we go through the region. So we just have to be careful when going through that. It takes 1 loss per 3 hidden warbands. So luckily for us, if we wanted to move through this region, none of these warbands are hidden anymore. So that's really great. We can drop off, but we cannot pick up. So I think we can, if we went, 1, 2, 3, we wouldn't be able to pick these guys up without having to actually pay, because this is another origin space. So I think, though, we do want to drop some off. So as we go through Sequani, we want to gain control of this region. That's going to be really important for our supply lines. The Roman resources and Aedui trade command. There's a bunch of commands that have to do with supply lines, and that's another part of the game that, as we come to it, I'll explain it. But basically, we need to be able to trace a line to Cisalpina with our control, or with no control, but better to have our own control of a region. So might be best to drop some people off in Sequani on our way north to help protect these legions up here. And as we move through this region, we might drop off another auxilia to help out here, or 2, I guess. But we don't have to worry about them harassing us, because those are active warbands. They're not underground or hidden. So I want to take mostly everybody. I think we might leave an auxilia behind and maybe a legion behind. I don't know if this is wise. But we're going to take... Should we leave more legions behind? You know what we'll do? We'll go up here. It'll cost 1. And we're going to drop off an auxilia and a legion. Yeah. So that we'll gain control of this. So that's 1 space, 2 space, and we'll drop off 2 more here. Actually, let's do... I want to make sure when we have a counterattack, so if they take out one of our pieces, we have a full... We're not screwed by the rounding down of the half. But then up here, I want to make sure we can absorb any losses. I think when you defend against Caesar, there's some special rules about that, too. Oh yeah, the legions are super devastating when defending against legion. They do 2 losses per. But let me just double check on the Ambiorix thing. No, they still get all of their powers there. So maybe we just want to abandon that fort for now. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. So it'll cost us 2 resources to have done what basically we did right here. Then, oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take these remaining forces that we were moving with. We're going to go into this region now. And so Ambiorix isn't there. So I know what I said about these legions, but we're gonna take care of them. Don't worry. We're basically abandoning the fort. So that cost us 2 resources to go 1, 2, 3, and we didn't get harassed because these are active once again. But we will spend another 2 resources to move these down. It's per origin, so I can move 1 here. We need 1, 2, 3. We've got 6, which is just enough for control, and then 1 down here. And this will have us have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there, 5. So again, we'll get control there as well, which is perfect. Belgic tribes keep control of the region where Ambiorix is in, but this is going to flip to Roman control, and that will lose 3 points for the Belgic player. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more for the Belgic player loss because we're gonna take control there too. So 1. Then, as a quick aside, we are going to gain control of Sequani. And we don't have much here, so hopefully we don't get disgruntled too much. And we don't really have much in Provincia either, but we've got this permanent fort here. I don't think there's going to be a lot happening in Provincia. I just hope not. So this will be good. We can start plopping down allies and getting the rest of our forces on the board here. So that was our turn. We did... Oh, we just did a limited, didn't we? What do we want to do with this? Build or scout? So build, we can add forts or subdue allies with tribes. Let's see. So it costs 2 resources per fort. In each region, place a fort and or once Roman control. And if not selected for seas, we didn't do seas, we did march. Then place 1 Roman or remove 1. Place 1 Roman ally or remove 1 non-Roman ally, not non-Allan Romi. Okay, that might actually be super good because we can remove another ally. Alternatively, we can scout. We put these little scouted markers on the warbands, and it takes them 2 steps to become hidden again. So that's pretty good. I think, though, we want to do the build. So, it has a cost, too. That's unfortunate. I guess that makes sense. Place a fort and or... place 1 Roman or remove 1 ally. Actually, we might want to spend this to place a Roman ally. We could do it here. Alternatively, we could do it up here. I think the benefit of doing it down here would be this is a spot where a citadel could go in the future, so it would take extra oomph to get a citadel there. Up here, it's kind of in the fray, in the action, and when we recruit, then we're going to have a better odds of doing it next time. So the march cost 2, and then this march cost 2, so that's 4, and then the build's going to cost another 2. So this is 6 resources we're spending, bringing it down to 14. And we're going to place our allied tribe disc here. So what did that give us? It didn't give us any. It didn't give us any dispersed or subdued, but we did get an allied tribe. But we took away a subdued, so our victory condition actually doesn't change yet. All right, so now we've done a command and a special activity. So the reason why I wanted to do that anyway is because whenever the bots, I don't know if I said this in the first video, whenever the bots do a limited command, they actually get to do a full command plus special ability. So going up here would just prevent them from doing the event, but if the ADUI end up doing the event, which I don't think they will, but if they do the event, they would do the unshaded version, and this would actually help us anyway. So I didn't want to preclude them from doing the event, and they still get to do a full turn regardless. So let's check out what they will do. Okay, so the ADUI first on upcoming card, but not on current card, and roll 1 to 4. Let's see. They are first on the next card, and they're not on the current card. So if we roll a 1 through 4, they're going to pass in order to take the next card. And if we roll a 5 or a 6, we're going to continue along our little path here. So let's roll a quick die. 6. So they will not pass. ADUI by sequence of play may use the event. Yes. Is the event ineffective or capability in the final year or no ADUI? No, this isn't true. The event is effective. Well, it has special instructions, so we'll see what those are. But I don't think it's ineffective unless this renders it ineffective. So it's not no ADUI, so here we don't actually roll. And the other one, remember, we would roll to see, but here we go. So we're going to see the instructions and then use the unshaded text. So we might have gotten the event anyway. Let's see what those instructions are. I could have looked at this before, but it didn't because I don't like to plan my moves based on what they're going to do. Comius here. If the Romans are a player, yes. Oh, treat as no ADUI instead. Whoops, okay. So we don't get to do the event, bummer. So we'll treat it as no ADUI. Battle would force loss on enemy leader, ally, citadel, or legion. Leader, ally, citadel, or legion. Let's see. The only places where the ADUI share space with anybody is here. So in order for them to do damage to the allied tribe here, they would need to do 4 points of damage because they would need to remove these 3 and then they would get to remove the ally. But they only have 1.5 points of damage to do, so that's a no. Okay, 0 through 4 warbands on the map, or rally would place a citadel, ally, or 3+ pieces. They've got more than enough of those, but let's see if they can place an ally or citadel. Place city allies with citadel. So we just need to look at their specific rally here. In each region, if ADUI controlled, so that is only 2 regions here. Here in Bibracte and here in Avaricum. And both of those locations look like they are ripe for a citadel, so place an ally on a subdued tribe. There are none. Or if allies, place warbands, okay. Or if ADUI allied city, replace ally with a citadel. Okay. So they can do that. That's a yes. We'll go back here. So yes. Replace city allies with citadels. So rally wherever able to place a piece. They're going to be able to do it in 2 spots. Yeah, I think that's what they do. So normally it would be just, we would have to figure out what priority these have. I think they would be equal priority, and then act on only one of those spots. But because there's no real limit, it would say like limit maximum, 1 space, that kind of thing, like this, maximum 1 region. So since there's no limit, they can do this in multiple spots, and on their sheet, they want to do this in as many places where they're able to place a piece. So they're able to do that because I think they require warbands. They can place warbands too. I'm just trying to look where they're able to place those locations. Regions without devastation. Oh, or three plus pieces. So I think the only spots where that would happen is, well, nowhere. Right? Oh man. These are just like a step up from the Koopa Libre charts for sure in complexity. So apologies if we're going slow here. Let's at least do what we're able to here with this. So 1 per region, and we've selected 2 regions. Boom, boom. So it'll cost 2 resources at least. And then in both of those, we're going to replace the allied tribe discs with citadels. So 1 there. And we put the allied tribe disc back over where it is. The reason for that is so that there's still an accurate count of the number of those that they have on the map. So there's only 3 that they have on the map. 1, 2, 3. They can't place allied tribe there because they don't have control of that region. So I think that's essentially it. They could rally to place warbands equal to the number of... Okay, I think it's supposed to be very literal. So place all warbands able to. We've selected 2 places where they could place warbands before. They can also place warbands if they select their home region. They can place 1. Or they can place warbands equal up to the number of allies that they have there. The only other place that we haven't selected that has allies is here. So they will spend 1 more resource and place 1. They have 1 allied tribe there. Oh, wait, but they can... Oh, they don't have control. Yeah, we went over this. Duh. Okay, so we'll take 1. They have 1 allied tribe, so they can place 1 warband, and they'll place it here. This will give them control so that next time they might be able to place an allied tribe in that last remaining location, or they can, mess with those instead. So they did a rally. They can trade or suborn. Let's see what they do. They're going to trade if the Adui battled or the resources are 0 through 9. I can tell you right now they're at 12. They did not battle. Or the Adui plus Roman resources less than 15. No. We've got 14, and they have like 12, so that's more than enough. And so, no, they're not going to do this then, because this first part is false. So if none, they're going to suborn 1 region, or in each of 2 regions if unshaded. Oh yeah, we don't have this capability in effect, so just 1 region. I bet that makes the Adui suborn like double good, which is great for them. But they're going to try to place an ally. If none placed, remove an enemy 1. Place all. Okay, so 1 region. And what does suborn do? In a region with hidden Adui warbands, so there are 3 such regions available. It'll cost 2 per 1 ally, 1 per other piece, and they'll place and or remove up to 3 pieces total. At most 1 piece may be an allied tribe. So this is a really cool... They can effectively straight up remove allied tribes of other players without having to do any battle, which is really neat. But the only region where this is going to meet the condition for their first bullet point, which is to place an ally, is going to be that Mandubii region. And they're going to place... So here there's no room, so they're going to choose this region to place an allied tribe. So now they're one of their 3 pieces is spent doing this. And so they can't remove this one now because they've already used one of the 3 to place a tribe. So they'll do that. If none placed, removed enemy, but they did that. Place all the warbands able and remove the most enemy warbands able. So because they have more than 2 here, they're going to take these 2 and plop them down right in there. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I'm kind of like fumbling through my words here, but the text is clear to me, so hopefully I can make it clear to you. They get to place or remove up to 3 things. One of those things can be an allied tribe disc. So they place their one thing, then they can place or remove 2 other non-allied tribe discs, which is warbands. Their priority was to place the 2 warbands first. And all in all, that cost 2 resources per ally, 1 per other place. So because we did place an ally, this will cost 2 resources to do. So 1, 2. Okay, so they spent their resources, they did their special activity, and then they have done that. We will reset for the next card. Hopefully we can, I know we only went through 1 card again, so hopefully I'm going to try to blast through this next card. So Avaricum is up next, followed by Drought. Okay, so the Belgic players are up first because they are eligible and the other players are not. So we're going to check their flowchart real quick. Ambiorix or 4+ Belgic warbands where non-German enemy has ally, citadel, legion, or 4+ pieces. So ally, citadel, legion, or 4+ pieces. Ambiorix or 4+ warbands. So this isn't true anymore. 4+ warbands where they have a legion, yes, that is right there. Over here they only have 3 warbands, so no. There's a leader there, so yes. No, that's not one of them. Legion or 4+ pieces. That does satisfy that requirement there. Okay, so battle. Only where Belgic losses less than enemy and no loss on Ambiorix. Ambiorix does not meet the condition at the left. So first, so that one's false. We're going to check the boxes at the right for ambush or rampage before battling. So in first box per left, but only if retreat could lessen removals. No ambush. Man, you just have to parse through so much. I'm sorry this is taking so long. Okay, so we'll check the boxes. So we met this condition, but Ambiorix did not meet the condition at the left. So we will not march. We're on number 2. Check boxes at right for ambush. In first battle per left, but only if retreat out could lessen removals and or... So do they even get to retreat? I think they need... Don't they need hidden warbands to do this? Yeah. So the only place... Oh, wait a second. No, Belgic warbands. Okay. Here, they could ambush. The other places, they don't have any hidden warbands, so they wouldn't be able to ambush. But they're only going to battle in places where they meet the condition on the left and the losses are less than the enemies. So here, if they battled, they would have 2 losses because it's each one's half. And here, there's like 2, 3, 4 losses against. So, the losses. So, If the Belgic player inflicted the 2 losses, they would take these 2 losses, and then they would still have 1, 2, 3, 3 losses left to inflict on the Belgic player. So since 3 is more than the 2 they would inflict, they're not even going to battle there at all. Similarly here, they're not going to battle because we have way more firepower than they do. This didn't meet the conditions at the left. And here, they can inflict 2 points of damage, rounded down to 1, and we could counterattack to inflict just tons. Oh, but they could actually, so if they inflicted the 2 damage up here, if they ambushed, they could do that. And there would be no counterattack. And they wouldn't be able to retreat. So it looks like they are able to battle in that one location. I think that's it, and ambush. So first battle per box at left, so the first place where they're able to do it. It's really the only place that satisfies any of the battle conditions at all. So that's what they'll do. They'll battle, then they will ambush. And just in that one spot. And then they will fight other non-Germans. But they can't do that in anywhere else because they would get... Oh no, then they will battle up here as well. They won't be able to ambush because they don't have any hidden warbands, but they will try to take out our fort. Then they get 5 chances to do it. So here we go. They will battle here and ambush. Let's see what their ambush card says again. I believe it's just that there's no retreat. Each loss removes 1 defender, no counterattack. So up here, they're going to follow the battle procedures. So they pick a faction to defend. It will be the Arverni, Roman or Gallic defender. Oh no, we can't retreat. So take the losses. Then no counterattack. Then all hidden participants to revealed. Okay, easy peasy. So we flip all these. Man, the Belgic player is super aggressive. They are just going for it. And they'll take out 2 warbands back to the supply. And then these will also flip because they participated, even though they were ambushed. And there's no counterattack, no retreat, nothing. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 5 pieces. So the Belgic player does regain control. And that is worth a whopping 2 points to them. So good for them. That was their... And again, they're not going to do that anywhere else. Oh, yeah, they're going to battle here. Just regular battle. I can't retreat because I have no mobile forces. The fort is stuck in place. It doesn't have legs. So, since they're not ambushing, I can't retreat. The losses are half because I have a fort. So 2.5 losses. But, actually, can that even work? Oh, yeah, there's going to be no counterattack because I've got no forces there to counterattack with. So it's, because Ambiorix is special, he makes all the warbands have a 1 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by 2 because of the fort. It's 2.5. Rounds down to 2. So they get 2 chances to blow up this fort. And, oh, just before I forget, I want to make sure to pay for that. It costs one resource per region, so 2. So forts are special pieces too. They survive on a 1 through 3. Let me just triple check that. The losses, forts or citadels. Yeah. Remove if 1 through 3. They survive on a 4 through 6 of defending because it's a fort. So we will roll, And we want a 4, 5, or a 6. 4, and they get 2 losses, so this is a second chance for them. Oh, too bad. Okay, so our fort goes back. They were successful. The forts aren't important for our specific victory condition, so nothing really happens there. Okay, that was their command plus special ability. Then we move on to the Arverni player. So, non-player Arverni. Vercingetorix are 10 plus warbands where the Roman allies, or do we have an ally citadel of 3 plus pieces? Nope, there's no spot on the map with 10 and Roman or a Dewey players. There's a spot with Vercingetorix up here, but it has Belgic pieces, so no. Arverni may use the event. Yes, they may. Is the event ineffective? Capability in the final year, or no Arverni? So possibly, let's read this. If Avaricum is your ally or citadel, do any of these things. So look for Avaricum. Nope, it belongs to the Aedui player. So I think this is going to be ineffective. Yep. So it is ineffective. 0 to 8 warbands on the map, or rally would place 2 plus ally citadels or 6 plus pieces. How many do we have on the map? We got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, no, but would a rally place 2 plus allies or 6 plus pieces? Well, if they rallied, I think they just need control, so that they probably could place one there and place one up here. So let's just double check. Rally. If Arverni control or Vercingetorix, there's no tribes up there that are for the taking. Place warbands or place one ally. So yeah, they can definitely do it. So that's a yes. Their Arverni is scary because they have just so many warbands. Oh my gosh, so many. So they can do some damage, mob mentality style. So they're going to rally wherever to place citadels, then allies, then most warbands. And it's wherever possible. So they can do a citadel there and a citadel there. Look at that. So they can replace like so. And like so. Okay, and that cost them 2 resources. And then they're going to do it to place the most number of warbands. So, and remember, they can do this wherever they have allies. They can place warbands equal to their number plus 1. And they get an extra one in their home region. Well, no, not an extra one. They can place one in their home region for free. But they already went here. So the only other place with allies, again, is here. So they do get to place number of allied tribes plus 1. So 2. That becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so no change of control yet. It's funny, in my game that I played of this before, the 4-player game, this became just a total cluster. I mean, there was so many troops right there. So it's looking that like that's kind of shaping up to be a hotly contested area as well. So I know we're kind of over time here, so I just want to make sure. So then, devastate after rally or raid in each region. Good thing, because, man, they have to go back and forth. That's the hardest thing. In each region, we're able to force removal of a legion, or 2+ auxilia, or at least as many Roman and Aedui pieces as total as Urban. They're going to devastate. So, Averni remove 1 in 4 each other faction, 1 in 3 of their total warbands, auxilia, and legions rounded down from each region. Place a devastated marker in each region selected that has none yet. So, if they can force the removal of a legion, 2 auxilia, or at least as many Roman and Aedui pieces as Arverni, they're going to do this. And the only places where they share, they can do it up here, but there aren't any Aedui or Roman pieces up here, so they actually don't want to do it up there. Here is the only other spot. So they remove 1 in 4, rounded down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they would remove 1. And the Aedui player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is 1 in every 3 pieces. So they would actually remove 2. So they are going to do it here. So the Averni remove 1. The Aedui remove 2. Does that flip control? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Still Aedui control. And they get to place a devastated marker. This basically makes everything way more expensive, and it means you can't rally in certain situations. It's like, it's pretty brutal. So they did this, then they placed the devastated marker. So that was their turn. Yep. So they did a command and special ability. Again, they get to because they are the bots, and it's the balancing mechanism. Then these go over here. These go over here. Drought is the next card on deck. And then shifting loyalties after that. Man, so many cards where the Aedui are first up. They are just getting all the cards. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be first up when we resume. I'm just going to double check control and everything off camera and make sure that we haven't made any glaring errors in tracking our resources and such. But until next time, thanks for sticking around a little extra time to watch Falling Sky, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.